Welcome back to A Good Pour. I'm Kathryn Good. Today we're sharing inspiring stories from season 2 about what it means to do good work. You'll hear about serving others, supporting your community, and using your gifts to make an impact. These clips remind us that good work is about passion, purpose, and the people we help. Listen in.
Good work is just pouring your soul and your heart into what you do, just serving the needs of the community. I think that is what makes good, that is what creates good work. It's just seeing the need and feeling it.
But how do you take care of you? Do you have best practices and habits that you do to allow yourself to continue to pour into your organization and your family and all these other things that you do?
It's very easy to be all in work because when you love something and you want to do it, my nature is also to always think about things and how do I make things better, and I always just want it to be better. So for me, being part of a C12 peer group, I take one day a month to do that, but that also, what I realize is that helps me reset and focus again on what's important. And so part of that is talking about family, talking about your wife, talking about work, talking about the ministry, talking about, my personal health, my wellness, my rest. And so I think that's the biggest thing that helps me is I have to stop, one day a month, kind of refocus, realize there's some things that's out of place, or I'm trying to do too much generally, or hey, I should turn things down. But that's how I've been able to just put it in perspective of what's important at that moment, because it's easy to just only focus on the business goals that we have and our 90-day plan and our 1-year plan, and lose focus of these other items.
Yeah.
I think that good work is all those things we said. It's spreading kindness, it's spreading joy, it's, to be blatantly honest, spreading the love of Jesus. I mean, we're sending a message out to people, and we want things to make people feel special. I want to make a difference in someone's life. And I think, with the business I have, it's become very apparent that it's not, I don't want to say easy to do, but it's something I want to do, and it fills my cup.
Yeah.
It's my passion.
I love it.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for all you do for this community. I definitely watched it during COVID just blow up. And I was like, I don't know who owns Hot Gypsies, but they are happy. But you've just kept going, and it's just so fun every time I see it. Now that I know you, kind of the woman behind the signs, and I just appreciate all you do, both in your day job and your night job, to spread joy in Nashville, in here, all over. So thank you.
Yeah, thanks.
And I know that you work with a lot of businesses around our town. So tell me, I know you know how nonprofits can do good work, but from your perception as a nonprofit leader, how can businesses do good work?
Well, what I do is I do surround myself with good people. And I would start with my staff being that good people, and then extending that to the board. I have a great board of directors, and they are so knowledgeable. I have, finance, development, insurance, attorneys to help me, build more houses. I've never built a house before I started with Habitat. And so just knowing what their passion is in their business, and that they can turn around and bring that back to our business, it's great. It's really great.
I'm just always, when given the opportunity, I just want to say how grateful I am. I'm super grateful. I'm grateful to be able to do what I do, first of all, because I absolutely love it. But I'm so grateful. It is never, ever going to be lost on me how beautiful it is, how much other people love it, how much this community loves it. Because it's the best story in the world to be able to tell our kids and our moms at Grace Place. It is. It's just this beautiful love story that the community's been writing and the Lord's been writing, and I could not be more grateful.
Our core values are do right, be safe, honor God, and serve others. And so then you start asking yourself, is what I'm doing exhibiting those core values? And so it starts becoming pretty easy when you say, hey, if I want to talk about serving others, how am I serving our employees? Yes, it's easy to talk about serving customers. Last minute request, we'll figure it out. But what about your employees? What about your vendors? We participate and we partner with a lot of really good organizations, whether it's by providing service or even financially. But honoring God also means, the faith that we have and the Christian values that we have, we want to make sure that we're sharing those with others because it's an important part of it. We then start looking for ways to say, and then let's do it. Let's do this. Sometimes they're really successful, but sometimes, maybe it missed the mark, and that's okay. We try again. There's some things that, we put out some books sometimes and no one took them. Like, well, I guess that's not what anybody, nobody wanted a book. Okay, we tried. But it's our values. It's going back to understanding what our core values are and then making sure that we're doing the things that align with those.
We are still working with folks who are whose homes were flooded, whose businesses were flooded, and disaster relief, maybe not, but making sure that those people can survive and thrive after this. So the work never stops in these kind of roles. It just changes. And so in disaster recovery, you go from just immediate to long term. And what does that mean? And it means that everybody who is affected can then have their needs met and go on to thrive. And that we can make sure that Sumner County is better than it was before it happened.
Yeah. So my news feed was kind of like this positivity thing, and started getting some comments on that. People were happy to be edified in that way. And, I think as adults, we don't get told enough that
you're doing good work.
Doing good work.
Yeah.
So the joke I make about that is nobody tells LeBron, that he's a good basketball player anymore. And we don't get that as adults very often. So just something like that kind of caught on. People were noticing and commenting, and so I really leaned into that. Started getting some clients. So that's the origin of the concept of a heart.
Ultimately, for me, I built this company on those 4 values, and anytime something doesn't align, then I step away from it. And it's been super challenging. But I do believe in it, and I do believe in bringing joy to people in all ways.
Well, I talk about core values a lot when we're doing marketing strategy, and it is because, one, it comes from your heart, and so it's something you can hold on to. It's something you can implement because you, as the founder, this is what's important to you, and this is what you want reflected in the entire business, right? But it's also, it helps shape, and I say it helps you hire, it helps you fire, and it helps you make decisions. Because if you're not in alignment with those core values, then it's going to feel off, right?
Any leader in any industry, any sector, whether you're in manufacturing like my husband, or you work at a hospital or retail or whatever it might be, everyone has the opportunity to lead strong, and everybody has the opportunity to do good. Because for me, what makes a good leader, what makes good work is seeing the person in front of you. And so that might mean not being frustrated when you could be, not being annoyed when you could be, not responding like you are actually listening to what they're saying. And then kind of taking your ego out of it a little bit. To me, that is incredible leadership, when you see a need and you reach out, but also to really pay attention to the people who are in front of you. I think we miss that a lot now. We're so distracted, and to be able to really see the person in front of you, hear their needs, even hear their complaints and not pile on. Those are things that make great leaders, because then you're able to get past it, whatever maybe the issue is, but also to hear, again, the person in front of you, whether it's a need or an idea, because so many good things come to me that are not from me. They're from others. And so if I led with just me knowing, because I happen to be the face and leader of the organization, we would have missed the boat on a lot of things.
there was a big study that came out. It was called the Men's Harvard Health Study. You may have seen it. And it's what they did, the researchers actually started like 80 years ago. And they took a group of almost 1,000 students from Harvard. All of them were men. I think at that time Harvard only accepted men. They interviewed all of them, and they looked at like multiple factors in their lives, health and social, connections, and just many, many different things. And they continued to interview them periodically throughout the rest of their lives. And this study lasted more than 70 years. It was just concluded recently. And so, of course, they were looking at what constitutes a good life, what constitutes a successful life, what are the factors there. And the lead authors of the study came back to the one thing that stood out more than anything else was really good relationships, good, positive social connections, having people in your life that you love and that love you.
And education meaning not just going to a school, but educating yourself on a daily basis. Because you can learn so much more in the school of life and experience than you will between the four walls.
Never stop learning. Yep, absolutely.
Never stop.
Yeah, I think at the end of the day, it's just the general direction. And what I try to do with every vote, with every conversation, is how can I make Sumner County better? A better place to work, a better place to live, a better place to raise a family, a better place to move. I know that's a dirty word right now, but what makes it a better place to move?
I mean, people are coming here.
Yeah, and it's not
just are.
stopping. And you want them to. At the end of the day, my wife is from West Virginia, and so if you know anything about that part of the country, it had a huge coal mining industry that's on its way out, and we drive through towns on the way to her parents' house that are boarded up shops and vacant almost the entire town, and I see the destruction that can cause, and I don't want that to be my hometown. So I want people to be able to move here and be excited about that.
I think just through living my life. I think I love to talk to people. I'm very, I just love face to face. And I also think through my clients. I mean, my clients get really cool results. And I always say, I feel like I'm handing the world a whole different human. And a lot of people lately that are in massive transitions of divorcing or that sort of thing. And it's like when they're done, the human that they are, it's just so powerful to know that they're a whole person being able to go into a new relationship.
This third one just came out a couple weeks ago, and I'm so excited. It might be my favorite. And it's called River Has a Purpose, and So Do You. And we have really connected with special needs people and families, and I was not prepared for that blessing. And he and everybody else has a purpose. And it's really cool to be able to share that with everybody of all ages, truly. So, yeah.
So you told me you're reading at schools about twice a week. Elementary schools?
Elementary, sometimes we'll do middle, sometimes we'll do high school. It's kind of cool because you can do the angle of writing, how I got into the writing, go through that writing process and all of that stuff. So that's pretty cool. And actually, when we went back to our first, my hometown to our first tour, we got to go, the very first thing we did was my favorite English teacher's class.
We have kids sometimes that identify great partnerships and they create them. One of the things that we're really trying to do is cultivating our students, because we pour a lot of resources and support into our children. We're starting an initiative next year called Sumner Gives Back, where we're going to try to encourage our kids and give them opportunities, because I think students today are really missionally focused. I think they have a calling to serve the community, and it's our job to not just worry about reading and math, but to also think about civic virtue and create opportunities for them to give back.
Thanks for listening. As a reminder, good work is about showing up, serving others, and making a difference in your own way. Let these stories inspire you to keep doing what matters most. Until next time, keep pouring into the good work and keep sharing your good story. See you in 2025.